Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Broken Windows. I'm your co-host, Shadrack Manano. Happy to have you. Happy to see you. You guys are looking so good. I can see through the camera. We have witchcraft here. But, but today I'm joined by a guest. Let me let her introduce herself.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Pesh Poni, and I'm a gender activist and youth leader. I'm happy to be here.
She's a youth leader. She's here to lead us to the promised land like Moses. You being a youth leader, what do you think is the most important thing about job decisions, thinking about looking for work after school? What do you think are the most important things? Should you also look for experience like other people? You know, every company asks you for 7 years of experience.
Yeah. 10, 20.
Internship opportunities, what do you think? Or should you just go into the hustle and do your own business?
Well, I think it really dates back to the quality of education. You see how in Uganda most of our education is so theoretical, like they never prepare us for the job market. And I don't want to trash international schools. They're doing a good job, but I feel like they are more prepared than the other schools in the country. You see someone from an international school or someone that studied from out gets a job faster than someone who studied in Uganda. So we question, why are we still studying? So shouldn't we go back to 8 years things? But then now to your question, yeah, I think the whole issue of year experience should not be very important in certain jobs. Of course, there are some jobs where it's very important to know your skills and the quality you're bringing. But then if it's not really so necessary, you shouldn't dwell on it. If someone has the passion, someone has the energy.
Yes, yeah? True. That's what we should be telling employers.
True, they need to consider that other aspect. And you've heard of how people say your performance should not be the only thing you should look forward to when you're at school. Extra activities add to your value as well.
True.
Yeah.
Now, speaking about work still, I want to move the conversation a bit. If, let's say, people are considering expatriate work, have you ever considered like going for greener pastures?
I've not. I've not.
South Sudan or Nairobi or Europe? Have you? But okay, do you have friends who have gone?
Yes, I do.
What do you think? What made them make those decisions? Is it just like money, or things have really failed here in Uganda?
I think it's really it's money, because if there's no money in Uganda, in fact that there are no jobs or what, then why don't you go and work out? But you know, those people also add a lot to the value of Uganda because they pay back some money, remittances to the government. So I really think it's just someone's choice. Others are lucky or unlucky. It's because if we say they're lucky, then it means in Uganda we are not lucky. You get? Yeah, but I think it's really their choice, but we hope that they're happy wherever they are.
Would you leave? Would you consider leaving? Or why you put all your eggs in this one basket?
I would only consider leaving if I'm representing my country there. Yes.
We have a true Ugandan here. Very few on Broken Windows.
In a diplomatic
in a diplomatic role.
Exactly. But going,
how about the ones who are coming here? Don't you think they're stealing our jobs?
I think what they're just doing vice versa. I mean, if we are allowed to go there, why can't they be allowed? Why can't they be allowed to come here?
Then also in work culture, we have said our job system, our education system doesn't really prepare you for jobs or for our current job market. Do you think millennials, young people, are manageable? That is the word I was looking for. At work, that someone can say, okay, Pesh, I've left these tasks or these assignments for you, and you go and do them without them calling you every day.
To be like supervising.
Yes.
I think millennials are like 50% ready. It's just a few who are doing their efforts and, you know, putting love to what they're doing, and they know what they're doing, while others are really taking things for granted.
So half are this word has refused. Manageable, half are manageable, and this other half.
That's what I think, because we're even so lucky. We're in an era where there's so much technology, and like there's a lot that we need to leverage online. Like the world is really going global online, so we have a lot.
How about training? Do you think they can be trained? Over for you at this point, when you're done with school, you're like, I shall never open a book again.
They still can. They're humans. I'm sure they can.
Yes, but I don't think we want to be trained because
the energy and love for it.
Not the energy and love for it. We are just lazy. We're just lazy. We just prefer to.
Many are, but there are some who are very work. They can
True.
do it. They can really go and get the training.
But now,
Thank you.
what do you think? We made a decision to start this show because we don't want to work.
Are you serious?
Yes.
But you're working, and trust me, you're better off than so many out there. So.
True.
Yeah.
Guys, we're better off than you guys. Work hard, guys. Work hard.
But trust me, not all of them are lazy.
True. Also on work culture, expanding this conversation even more. How do you think people spend their money? Do you think we spend our money to grow over to Simbude? Anytime we get something, we need to go to that ginger trip. We need to go and try out Kampala Restaurant Week.
Well, people really enjoy money in different ways, and most of the youth today, or the millennials, like you've called them, really spend money on having fun. And some of them save, but you can never know. You will see someone spending, you don't know how much they earn in total. You don't know where they have other sources of income.
Those are their uncles in government.
So you don't know where they have other sources of income. Someone is, actually
Yes.
should balance, but some of them, of course, go and waste their money and then get back to zero again, yet they had opportunities.
But what would you choose between business and between like work in salary and business? What would you go for?
I'm not a business person. That's the
Salary.
bad thing. Yeah, so salary. Like I've started businesses before and closed them in 2 weeks. Like I get frustrated, bargaining for people
but
to
I
buy things.
understand. Yes. Yes.
I respect you guys who do business.
Massive respect, man. Massive respect.
Massive.
So okay. Still with salary, would you choose any job because it pays, and not these jobs that like have had moral lines, like you're going to do something illegal or something people might consider immoral? But I'm talking about jobs that are difficult for other reasons, like maybe working in a daycare. You don't like kids crying all the time, or working in a funeral home. If A+ gave you a job, can you go?
So
why you need training?
I think, of course, I would need training. It depends how life throws us. But every job is valid.
True.
Even the worst
True.
that people think is worst, it's valid. So I wouldn't even mind a low-paying job or working on voluntarily for some time, but knowing that you can upgrade. Every little beginning adds up. So we shouldn't underlook certain jobs.
But you see, Ugandans really do not like certain jobs.
Exactly,
really.
and that is sad. That is why most of them never progress, because they feel like, I cannot be a cleaner. I cannot do this. But that's where we all start. And for the A+, and I wouldn't mind, depending if my passion is there for it, or my qualifications are there. I really do not like the idea of working in a place because I've been pushed there by someone, yet I don't qualify for it.
True.
Someone else can do that.
You just don't feel qualified for A+.
No, if it has a legal department, I really would.
Yes.
Or
true.
I don't know, any other thing that I'm qualified for. But if it is the medical part, how can I again switch my purpose?
So your passions are in the legal field. Are you a feminist?
Yes, I'm feminist.
Yes.
That's why I'm a gender activist.
Yes. Forgive me, I was absent-minded. You said we discussed so much, I'd forgotten that little fact.
Okay.
Yes, so being a feminist, what do you think? We've been talking to our guests a lot about feminism and wars.
Yes.
What do you think feminists can add to wars?
Well, first to the audience, feminism, it's an act or a movement of advocating for the rights of both men and women.
True.
Now, the different types of feminism vary, and so I'm a liberal feminist, and I really respect the ideas of my other feminist sisters in the movement. So being a feminist means we're advocating for rights of both men and women,
yes.
putting priority to the fact that women have been pushed down the drain and have to be pulled up. Now, on your question of the wars.
Are you prepared to go to fight?
We've had women in wars before.
No.
Very
Those
good
are women, not feminists.
No. Feminists and women, I think that's going to be a wrong question for the program.
No, I feel like
It is.
women, the strides of women should be left
So
to
how
be
can I
strides
talk
of
about
women.
feminism without women?
No, you can, but you cannot own their things.
No,
you guys should,
no.
Like you have to look,
Your
because
question,
it's unfair. It's unfair. The motivations of those women, no one knows them. But now you ascribing this idea.
So what exactly is your question? Because if your question is what do feminists, or what do I as a feminist think about women participating in war,
Not
then I would
women.
say it
I just
is
said
okay.
feminism and war. I never said women.
What kind of war?
Because, for example, my question may be on men. That why are men the ones like targeted the most? Why are they not allowed to leave their country if they want during times of war, that sort of thing? So it may not even really be about women. Because feminism has...
So what kind of war are you relating it to?
The Ukraine war, for example.
What about
Russia? They allowed women to live.
Now that is the question
children.
I was telling you about. Yes.
And the men were forced to stay.
Now that dates back to the laws. In Ukraine, the martial law does not allow women and children to participate in wars. Now, if you want anything
should feminists
of that
change the law?
to change, feminists are human beings, so should human beings advocate for policies to change such laws is the question.
No, this question is limited to feminists.
No.
Because,
That's what I'm saying, feminists are human beings.
let me try and explain.
Should they advocate for that?
No, what I want to try and explain is this. A lot of people feel, and I also feel like this way, everything is good for sharing when it's all good. But now when there are certain sort of vices or what should I call them? Things that happen to a specific group of people, especially men. But
the women who are fighting in the war, haven't you seen them? Have you followed the news well for the Ukraine?
It doesn't matter if there's one woman there. It does not change.
It's not only one. So I think you would have to really find out because there are women.
But you see, you're dismissing my argument. Then you've dismissed it. No, you're dismissing it by saying the women in the wars.
The women in the wars, and I've directed you to the fact that the laws are invalid or they are still vague and they need to be transformed. So feminists as activists within the different lines still have to advocate for such policies to be changed because women also have the capability of being in such wars. And we have had over the years...
We're not talking about participation, we're talking about the suffering.
Because, you know, internationally, international human rights...
Is there more suffering than death?
Both men and women die, right? In the wars.
I cannot.
Because you know, international humanitarian law has laws that govern
the
war, and say that a man who has even put down their instrument should not be killed or touched. So a woman should not also be raped or should not be touched during such matters of war. So all these questions on feminism and war, feminists have done a lot of things for both men and women, and it's high time that men
it's really
stop having shallow minds.
No, it's really to provoke the idea that when it comes to male suffering, feminists are quiet. That is why we phrase
men are
it
there.
like
why
that.
should we, again, we are already fighting for our rights. Why do you want us to take on your rights?
You said equality.
Of course, as we're fighting for our rights, we do so for men, but the men are pushing us to the drain.
Thank you, Kale,
so
Kale. But I understand, I've been beaten, my friends. You guys just go to war and die.
Okay, that's how you've interpreted it.
No,
yeah,
not like that. But it's the truth. It's the truth. But you can tell us what you think about all this in the comment section. I'm sure to continue this conversation with Pesh off screen now. I have to assure her.
Each other.
Thank you, guys. Peace.